Okay, so now we're on page 76 in the Math 1 book. And there were so many questions on the binomial theorem and Pascal's triangle that I just decided to slim up the number of questions because it sure would take a long time to go numbers 1 through 21. So what I decided to do was do the first column. So those numbers are going to be 1, 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, and 19. So, even though this might not be your exact assignment, I don't expect that any of the videos are your exact assignment, but I hope you'll still be able to learn from it, even though it might not be your exact assignment. But anyways, before doing these problems, I need to show you guys Pascal's triangle, because it says use the binomial theorem. Well, we have to know what that is, and use Pascal's triangle. So we have to know what that is. So I'm going to start out showing you Pascal's triangle. Pascal's triangle is just a triangle. You started out by doing 1. Okay, you're writing that one. And then 1, 1 is your first row. And then what you do to find the entries in the middle is you add the terms just above it. So put a 1 on the outside, and how do I find this 3? It's 1 plus 2, and then the 2 plus 1 gives me the 3. 1. And then 1's on the outside, and then 3 plus 1 is 4, 3 plus 3 is 6, 3 plus 1 is 4, and a 1 on the outside. So that's Pascal's triangle. Hopefully your teachers taught you something about that, but if you were absent, there's a refresher for you. And also the binomial theorem, it says the entries in Pascal's triangle are the coefficients in the binomial expansions of a plus b to the n power, where n is the row number in Pascal's triangle. So if it was something like a plus b squared, we remember there is a formula there, or you could just FOIL it, and it'd be equally as quick. But remember, when in that formula there was a 2 in the middle term. I think when I was explaining it on the videos, I said square this one, multiply these two together, then times 2, and then multiply the b squared, and then it's b squared. These are your same coefficients for a plus b to the second power. However, the binomial theorem and Pascal's triangle sort of work in conjunction when n is a little bit higher than that. It works with n equals 0, n equals 1, n equals 2, and so forth. But we concentrate using the binomial theorem when n equals 3, when n equals 4, when n equals 5. Because then you would have to FOIL and distribute, and it would be a really long process. So anyways, let's take a minute and do this first question. Now the first question says to the third power. So that means we need to go to the third row in Pascal's triangle. Row 3 would be this row here. I'm going to highlight that one in yellow. Okay, that's row 3. 1, 3, 3, 1. So those are our coefficients. 1. We have a plus sign, so we don't really have to worry about our signs changing or anything, although sometimes they will, and I'll mention that when we get to a step like that. So 1, 3, 3, 1 is our pattern, and then what we're going to do is just take the x. It's going to be x to the highest power, x to the third, and then you just count down by 1 each time. X squared, x to the first, x to the 0. Okay? And then you take the 4. And you go in the opposite direction for that. But what I like to do is I like to just write it out here. 4 to the third, 4 to the second, 4 to the first, and then 4 to the 0. And then it's just a matter of knowing what to do next. Okay? This is 1. So I don't really have to write it because it's 1 times something. 4 to the 0, we have to understand that as 1 as well. So 1 times x to the third times 1 is just x to the third plus 3x squared 4. Well, the 4 is to only the first power, so it's just 4 times 3, which gives you 12x squared. Remember, I can multiply the 4 and the 3 together because it doesn't matter what order you multiply in, so I'm just going to go ahead and multiply the 4 and the 3. Okay? Plus, now this, you have to pay attention now. PEMDAS tells you that you have to do exponents before you multiply. Because if I did 3 times 4, they give me 12, then I square it, I get 144. That's a much different answer than what we're actually going to get. What you have to do is square it first. It's 4 squared, 16. So 4 squared, 16, and then you times 3. So you're getting 48. So 48x plus, that's a 1. X to the 0 is 1, and now 4 to the third power. And take a minute, put it in your calculator if you don't remember 4 to the third, but it is 64. Okay, if there are like terms, go ahead and add them together, but in this case there aren't any, so I'm going to circle that. That's your answer. X plus 4 all to the third power gives you this, if you were to multiply it all out. Okay, so now